Welcome to Discovering the World of Natural Health. Your life is in your hands. Your responsibility to take care of the body we live in and make sure it has the opportunity to give us smiles on our face and the enjoyment of being able to not have to worry about this, that, or the other, so to speak. You know, we've talked about it several weeks here now. We've talked about seriousness about life and how to extend it, how to work with things. The thing I want to share with you today is just to show you that what I talk about is not so complicated. It is not something that is very hard to do. It's a matter of choice. One of the things that I have looked in today and before coming, I just shared a couple books that have been worthwhile and very helpful, and that is Food Cures, and why is that critical? Okay, have you heard before that food is to be your medicine and let your medicine be your food? Now, who spoke that? That was spoken by Hippocrates. And what is he considered? The father of medicine, the father of cures, the father of helping us as little young'uns to learn to take care of ourselves, so when we have the next generation come along, they'll be able to take care of themselves. It's very, very important to do that. You know, I'm just going to read a little excerpt on the back page here as you look at the cover of the book. Eat better, live better. Eat better, live better. Would that be important to you? Would that be of significant value to you? Each year we discover more evidence that what we eat affects how we live. And with that in mind, I've talked about the life extension products, the one that, it's like 2 per day, and you're working with that, and how it is more potent than the 1 a day. And then for those of you that really, really want to get serious about giving the body what it needs, then we're going to talk more and more, unless you get the information more and more about life extension and this mixed capsules. And I told you I start them, I actually started a week ago from today, and today is November the 1st. So I got a head start on November and working into the holiday season, working into the flu season, and building my body up a little bit more. Pantothenic acid is fantastic. There are things that are just plain long valuable that we don't even take in consideration about how we are going to take care of the temple we live in. But this particular bottle right here, it comes in a capsule, which is what I chose to use on this there we go. I chose to use on this particular time around because I could have the powder, but if I'm going to be using it 1 scoop 3 times a day, it's not just it may not be convenient every time. So what I did was I chose to do 4 capsules 3 times a day. Now, if I want to take one of those times and take the capsule, and since this is my bottle that I brought with me, I'll just give you an idea, because these are not, get back in there, don't lose them, too much potency in there. But that right there, some people may have trouble swallowing that. The tablet is about that size, but all I would have to do is just take this, pull it apart, put it into my beverage that I have, and be able to make me a shake out of it. I like my shakes. I think they're really important. And at Remedy This Naturally, 1140 Bienvenue Road, you can come in and check out what is available and what can be put into them. I still am a proponent of the green foods put into your shakes. I love them. And so those are things that you can do to help boost yourself. You can do it as a meal replacement. Here we are right now, the 1st of November, and people are concerned about their weight and thinking about they're going to have to put on a few more pounds, and when they're trying to put off some pounds so we can go into the holiday season a little bit on the slimmer side. I came up that one kind of slow, didn't I? Yeah. But if we can come up to the slimmer side of how we are able to not worry about doing the snacking, and I think this is going to be a good year for people to really take time and spend some time preparing. I would make a suggestion and see what you think about it. Is there a recipe that was in your family that has been done by one of the aunts, the uncles, or it could have been mom, dad, grandparents, and that you look forward to during the holiday season? Is there something like that that is very important to you that, it just looks forward to it? Then I would make a recommendation. How about if you get that recipe and give it a whirl and see if you can do something with it that will give you a reputation of carrying on the tradition of mom, dad, uncle, aunt, whoever it may be. I can go back and look. And I think about my Aunt Molly's coconut cake, pineapple cake, I think that was hers. Aunt Natalie's, Aunt Natalie, blackberry dumpling. So how about if we try to, and basically, if you've got the recipe, it's just like I had some, oh God, this was just wonderful, some chess pie. And it was made by a 30-some-year-old lady. But here's the cute part. I was told by my nephew that she makes them, but when she makes them, she has to make 4 at a time. And I said, well, if that's any problem, let me know. I'll come by and pick up one. And the reason she has to make 4 at a time is that's what the recipe calls for. She's carrying on the tradition, and she has learned to make the chocolate chess pie, and it is out of this world, so to speak. It made me feel like I was in another world while I was eating it. So, but that's what I'm speaking about. Being able to take and carry on that tradition, being able to have something during the year 2021 as we close out in 2 months that is going to be carried on to the next generation. We've got to make memories. We've got to have on things too, because here, I will say it again, as you or I think in our hearts, so are we. So what we're in the process of doing now is thinking in our hearts, making sure that we have something to be excited about. You cannot live on gloom, despair, and agony. You can't live off of that. You can't get past the crap, because when you're stepping in it, you're always busy at how to clean your shoes off, or barefooting was even worse, but you're figuring out what to do with it, how to take it on and get better about it. Okay? You got to be serious if you're going to go with this bottle. No question about it. Don't just do something less expensive that you can go with. If you'll come in and you'll tell us that you have watched Claiborne on WHIG TV, he talked about life extension. He talked about the super duper vitamin mineral with the fruits and vegetables in it. The foundation, everything is in it for your benefit. Okay? So, that's pretty good for taking 10 minutes and talking about one sentence I read in this Food Cures. Let's see, here's what I read. Each year we discover more evidence that what we eat affects how we live. While no single food is a miracle food. I mean, there is some that I love that I consider of being a miracle food, but when they're tied together like a rope, they're more powerful. Nutrition can play a role in preventing and managing any number of health conditions. Food Cures provides information on more than 50 common health conditions and how eating certain foods can help you alleviate symptoms and maintain overall good health. Whether you're looking for food to help heartburn or prevent heart disease, we can start looking into how food can help cure us of what's going on. Now, the funny thing about it is, when I reached over and I grabbed and put what I needed to in here and get rid of my bottle that I have my coral calcium in, that's just good stuff. We'll just put it over here out of the way. But people are concerned. We've been dealing with pandemic. We've been dealing with disease, and we've actually turned the world upside down. So it may seem a little out of place because this was a topic and this was something I used a few years ago before all this pandemic came into existence, because influenza, short flu, was something that was a bad boy then, and we would recommend how to take care of that by a flu shot or what can I get from the kitchen? What is a food that would help me? And I love it. We talked about things that come from the hive, like honey, bee pollen, bee propolis, things that are created for us in nature to help us reach out and have our medicine that we need. The little sentence in here says, boo-hoo, if you've got the flu, unlike the common cold, which causes a stuffy nose, sore throat, and sneezing, the flu is a viral infection that strikes the entire body with a vengeance. And so it's more than it's more to it than that. The misery starts suddenly with chills and fever and spirals into more unpleasant symptoms that will take you out of commission. A sore throat, dry cough, stuffy or runny nose, headache, nausea, vomiting, severe muscle aches and pains, weakness, backaches, and a loss of appetite. Some people even experience pain and stiffness in the joints. So what can we do about something that, quote, tragic, something that is beating us up, taking advantage of us? What is a food as a cure for something that has that many symptoms? You sure? Well, The worst of your symptoms will last about 3 to 5 days, but others, such as a cough and fatigue, can linger for weeks. And a bout with the flu can deliver a double whammy if you develop a secondary infection, such as ear, sinus infection, or bronchitis. Even pneumonia can be a complication and a potentially serious one of influenza. Flu virus strikes like clockwork in the United States. Every year, they begin to show up in October and exit in April. Peak flu season is December and January. Hey, this is November the 1st. How about we get ready so we don't worry about a peak season in December and January? I think that would be a great idea, as Tony Tiger would say. I do, very much so. Okay, flu is highly contagious, spreads by droplets from respiratory tract of an infected person. These can be airborne, such as those released after a person coughs or sneezes, or they can be transferred via an infected person's hands. Why not? Other things are doing other than a handshake, you know? If you get the flu, there are kitchen remedies to help ease your suffering. Now, this is not going to apply to a lot of people, because a lot of people don't know what a kitchen is, or is there for looks, you know, we mess it up, we go pick up food on the way home, and then we don't worry about it, don't have to fix anything, so it's done for convenience. But there are things you can do, very simple things you can do. I love soup, and Remedy This Naturally has got some excellent soups, and couldn't be there at a better time. Broth. In this particular instance, we're going to talk about canned broth. Whether it's beef, chicken, or vegetable, will keep you hydrated and help liquefy any mucus secretion. Broth is easy to keep down even when you have no appetite, and will provide at least some nutrition. So, and whether it's chicken, beef, vegetable broth, whatever it may be, it is something that's going to soothe. It's going to give something that the body doesn't have to take away from its fighting of the issues going on in our body, and help it to keep on fighting, but also benefiting from it. The reason we say that, you know, if I start coming down with something or whatever, I'm going to fast. I'm not going to eat anything heavy. I will go with the kitchen cures of the broth or the chicken. I'm an old believer in the chicken soup, folks. I love it. It is just remarkable. It is a healer by its own right. And by that, I mean it has taken generations of passing this down. Okay, let's go get the chicken soup so you can get well. Okay, and I mentioned earlier about honey. I love my honey. Yep. A hacking cough can keep you and every other household member up all night. Keep the peace with honey. Go to Remedy This Naturally. Get you some honey, folks. Honey has long been used in traditional medicine for cough. And let me just give you a simple recipe that they talk about in the Cures food book. Mix a tablespoon of honey into 1 cup of hot water and stir well and enjoy. Honey acts as a natural expectorant, promoting the flow of mucus. Squeezing some lemon in it will help with a little tartness. And lemon is also very therapeutic, very much so. And for your information, I've stated this before, but think about it for a second. You've got your lemon, and you've got the yellow part, the white part, and then the fruit. Between the fruit and the rind, there is from the peeling to the rind, that white part in there is what's known as bioflavonoids. And bioflavonoids are vitamin C. And they will help put the vitamin C back into your system. So I actually will scrub my lemon if I'm not going to peel the yellow part off. And the reason being, most of the time they put wax on it. They put something on it to help it last longer on the grocery shelves. So organic should not have that problem. They should be refrained from doing that on the organic. So what we talk about for a cure, we talked about honey. We talked about it helping with the cough, helping with sore throat. Honey is just God's gift from beautiful insect, the bees, to us to help take care of us. I think God, in His mercy, really does something very special when He created the bees and the honey and the honeycomb. He kind of said, hey, look, that was one of the things in the Garden of Eden, and I want you to be able to have a little bit of that Garden of Eden here so you'll understand that I am still powerful, I am still knowledgeable, and I know what you need because I made you. So just a few words about what I think. God loved us enough to let us have honey in the honeycomb, and He had us have the bees just to work for us, to give us what we need to prepare us for what's going on in our life. Okay? Juice. Any flavor or kind will do. How about that? Just drink lots of juice, both to keep yourself hydrated and to give yourself some extra vitamins. And if you can make your own juice, we talked just now, we dealt with the honey. We talked about you putting hot water over it, and then maybe add a little lemon. Let me share a little bit more with you about lemon, okay? There's a whole paragraph over here. The lovely lemon may cause a puckered face if eaten raw. But in a hot beverage, lemon will have you smiling. Hot lemonade has been used as a flu remedy since Roman times, and still highly regarded in the folk tradition. And these traditions we're talking about mainly up in New England. Lemon, being highly acidic, help make mucous membranes distasteful to bacteria and viruses. Now listen to that again. I'll repeat that because it's important for you to not just hear what I'm saying, but for you to remember what I'm saying. Lemon, being highly acidic, help make mucous membranes distasteful to bacteria and viruses. Lemon oil which gives the juice its fragrance, is like a wonder drug containing antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, anti-inflammatory constituents. And the oil also acts as an expectorant. And we do sell the oils and remedy this naturally, and picking out the one that you want for a specific. Right now, one of probably the biggest items being sold in the oils are peppermint oils. People are using them in their attics because of squirrels taking them, finding a place to put their winter storage. Also, because the nights are going to get cooler and we're going to have little mice coming into the house. So peppermint oil is a deterrent to mice and squirrels. Okay? And also that lemon oil, which gives the juice its fragrance, is such a wonder drug containing antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral, anti-inflammatory. What else is there? You know, what else do we need to take care of other than those things? And if you can't get fresh lemon, get lemon oil from Remedy This Naturally. Okay? The oil also acts as an expectorant. Why would you need an expectorant with the flu? To make this flu-fighting fruit drink, place 1 chopped lemon, skin, pulp, and all, into 1 cup of boiling water. Okay? 1 cup of boiling water. Just chop up a whole lemon and put it in there and bring it to a boil. And then once it comes to a boil, let it just sit there and simmer, or they use the word steep. Let it do that for 5 minutes. And while that is going on, I tell you what will help open up that head. Inhale the steam, strain, add honey to taste, and enjoy. Drink hot lemonade 3 to 4 times a day throughout your illness. Isn't that just so simple, so God-like in helping us be able to have what we need in this day and time of having something right? And most of us can go to the grocery store and pick up a lemon. Limes are very important too. Lemon just has the history, okay, of what's going on. So we talked about honey, we talked about juices, we talked about lemon being a juice, and then the other thing they have here they talked about was pepper. P-E-P-P-E-R, pepper. Pepper is an irritant. Try sniffing some. Yet this annoying characteristic is a plus for those suffering from coughs with thick mucus. The irritating property of pepper stimulates circulation and the flow of the mucus. Place 1 teaspoon black pepper into a cup and sweeten things up with addition of 1 tablespoon of honey. Fill with boiling water. Let steep for 10 to 15 minutes. Stir and sip. Please let it cool. Don't burn yourself. But 1 teaspoon of black pepper into a cup. Sweeten things up with addition of 1 tablespoon of honey. Fill with boiling water. Let it steep for 10 to 15 minutes. And then sip it when it's warm. Please don't burn your lip or your tongue or anything like that. So that's why we're talking about flu. And tea. Why we talk about hot lemon, hot black pepper. The thing is, the main thing we need to understand is we need the fluids. And we need fluids that is going to be conducive to helping build our body's immune system. So, therefore, tea, you've just made some tea, whether you realize it or not, with the lemon. A cup of hot tea is just another way. Take your fluids, which are so essential when you have the flu. Just be sure to choose decaffeinated varieties. Caffeine is a mild diuretic, which is counterproductive when you have the flu, and you certainly don't want to be awakened with the need to use the bathroom when you need your rest. So that is just a matter of if you're close to the bathroom and because caffeine is a mild diuretic, and if there are a lot of your herbs don't have caffeine in them, okay? How about thyme, T-H-Y-M-E? It's time to try thyme. I love that. It's time to try thyme. When the mucous membranes are stuffed, the head aches, and the body is hot with fever. Wonderfully fragrant thyme delights the senses if you can smell when you're sick. I mean, here you go. How much you go to be able to check that aroma when your head's all stopped up. But anyway, it works as a powerful expectorant, antiseptic, thanks to its constituent oil, thymol. By cupping your hands around a mug of thyme tea and breathing in the steam, the thymol sets to work through your upper respiratory tract, loosening the mucus, inhibiting the bacteria from settling down to stay. Make thyme tea in a snap by adding 1 teaspoon dry thyme Just try that again, please. Take 1 teaspoon of dried thyme, these are leaves, to 1 cup of boiling water. Let steep for 5 minutes while inhaling the steam. Strain the tea, sweeten with honey to taste, and just take it and slowly sip it. It's just say if this was a teacup and you had it in there and you put the boiling water over the thyme leaves or other leaves that may, ones that open sinuses, just take and go over top, breathe in. And a little trick that you may want to do is, because one side may be a little more stuffy than the other side, just take your index finger and put it on this side, go over, and you're breathing in the right hand side. Then do the right side with just holding the pressure right here and breathing in and giving them equal opportunity to get the same amount of releasing what's on either left or right side of the sinuses. So that's important to do that. It's just something that I think is a way to just to kind of take advantage of the power that you're getting in the aroma. So drink plenty of fluids. Water's good, as are teas, juice, and soup. Off limit. Coffee and soda pop, as they may contain caffeine and have no nutritional benefits whatsoever. But if you got to go that route, make sure that you have no caffeine in that. We need to talk a little bit about this, and I need to make sure I add some more things to this. And I didn't say nothing about a pencil and paper. No. If you wanted to do it, and if you just say, oh man, I should have started paying attention when Claiborne was talking about these things, well, catch the rebroadcast on Thursday night at 9. Okay? That's a good place to do it. Or you can always call and check, and you can pick us up on YouTube from WHIG and find out when they have put today's broadcast there for you to be able to enjoy this information and do it at your leisure, and you can get the information you need about what we've talked about, which is so doggone important about flu and what you can do. All right. Now, you may not ordinarily keep these herbs in your kitchen, but it's a good idea to stock on them before flu season starts. Hey, now's the chance. Get what you need. Remedy this naturally. Hours, 10 to 5, Monday through Saturday. Do not go in at 4:30 looking for the herbs to be, if we got to measure them out. We've got a whole long shelf with bulk herbs already measured out. If you can take advantage of that, and I suggest you do, it's important. But I'm going to give you a couple herbs here other than what we've talked about. You can do that to help you. And what I'm trying to do is help teach you how to be your own doctor. By that I mean, you know what your symptoms are. You know where you hurt, where the aches are, where the pains are, and what needs to be done. So what do? We take and start looking and says, okay, Claiborne, and then if you want to go in and Prescription for Nutritional Healing, look in that book and say, what can I historically take that has been known to give a positive result in getting rid of this culprit in historical usage? And that's how we approach this. We approach this in helping. I noticed that today, November the 1st, that our Governor Cooper has given the Indian population the significance for it being Indian Month. Some of them would like for it to be indigenous, said they are native and they don't want to be compared to Indians from another country of India. But the reason I bring it up is because of what has been given to us in the heritage of the Indian population. And I am so thankful we have a tribe, the Hallawasaponi, that are close to us, and that it is wonderful to be able to have contacts within the community, to be able to talk about the history of what's been used by the people in the past generations. So just throw in that little side bit. But lemon balm would be the first one I'm going to talk to you about. And here again, lemon verbiage pops up again. For adults who can't catch their disease while coping with the flu, lemon balm acts as a mild sedative, help mellow you out. It also contains antiviral compounds to help disinfect the mucous membrane. To make this relaxing potion, here's make this relaxing potion. Yeah. Strain, after you have taken the dried lemon balm, put it in 1 cup of boiling water, cover and let it steep for 10 minutes. And let me stop right there. If you're making your tea and you don't have a teapot, we got them in Remedy Naturally if you need a teapot. The reason you use a teapot is you put your bags or your loose, and some of them have a special. I've got a teapot from my mom. It's kind of a very special, that it's a big pot, and then right as you open up the lid is I guess a tube looking thing that has holes in it all the way around, and you put your tea in this tube, then you set it back inside the teapot, pour your hot water over it, then put the lid on it and let it steep. And what's so cool about that is that all the tea is in that little tube that's in the teapot. And Mom always used it to make her iced tea. She used loose tea or tea bags, one or the other, and that she used them in that teapot, green, silver, and white. Yep. Yeah, I do appreciate that. That's one of the things that was passed along from a previous generation to me. Means a lot, because Mom knew that I was interested in the herbs. I was carrying on tradition that had been passed along to her in some areas. Okay, let me get back on the path again. But that is part of the path, learning those little tidbits. So the thing is, when you I never finished my statement, I got talking about teapot. All right, when you take your tea leaves in your cup and you pour the hot water over them, and you do not use it for clearing the sinuses or just enjoying the relaxation of, that type of thing, then cover the cup with a saucer or whatever it may be and let it steep, because you don't want the oils and the therapeutic benefit of the aroma to go up in the air. And it won't be, if you need it in a concentrated area, take advantage of it. Okay? Go back to the lemon balm and how we're going to do to make this relaxation potency. 1 teaspoon dried lemon balm in 1 cup of boiling water. Cover and let steep for 10 minutes. Strain, sweeten with honey, and do it to your taste. And for example, if some of you are diabetic, concerned about this, and get you some stevia or xylitol, and it will not have the carbs that regular honey does. So, note, lemon balm, also known as balm mint, bee balm, blue balm, garden balm, melissa, and sweet balm. So I may have talked about lemon balm, but please remember that there are other things other than lemon balm that are in the same family and could be referred to as lemon balm, balm mint, bee balm, blue balm, garden balm, melissa, and sweet balm. All right. This next one we're going to talk about is peppermint. Running a fever of 102 to 104 Fahrenheit is common with the flu. A way to cool your hot head by sweating is with a cup of peppermint tea. As an added bonus, peppermint contains menthol, which helps as a decongestant to help unstuff sinuses. And peppermint has an antispasmodic properties to help that hack. To make this fever fighter Place 1/2 ounce of peppermint leaves in a quart jar of boiling water. If you're going to pour boiling water into a quart jar, please, your jar needs to be warm, and you need to put I will use a utensil, like a table knife, to help absorb some of that heat when I pour it in there so it doesn't bust the jar. They don't tell you that in the book, but if you've done this, you'll know what I'm talking about. So 1/2 ounce peppermint leaves in a 1 quart jar of boiling water. Cover and let steep 20 minutes. Strain the liquid. Add a cube of sugar if you'd like, and enjoy 2 to 3 cups a day. So that's peppermint. And then the other one we're going to talk about here is thyme, THYME, and peppermint. Now, variety is the spice of life. Combine thyme and peppermint to make an herbal steam broth that will deliver healing aromas to your aching nose and throat. Add 1 1/2 quart boiling water and 2 tablespoons each of dried thyme and peppermint in a large pot. Cover and steep for 5 minutes. Place the pot on a table and remove the lid. Lean in and cover both your head and your pot of steaming herbs with a large towel. Slowly breathe the herbal broth for 15 minutes. Warning. Warning. Do not stick your nose too close to the broth or it will risk getting burned. You're important, folks. Very, very important. And just to let you know, there are things that are very beneficial when it comes to influenza, and what we can do to make sure we do our part and take something from the kitchen. Remedy This Naturally has a large array of dried herbs that you can get, and as you know, we try to keep them on hand, but this is the time, THYME, but no, this is the time to get your stuff together, have it available. I love it. I love it when the older generation comes in, and by that I mean, okay, I'm in my 70s, okay, but we had a customer shopping this week in her 80s, mid-80s, spunky, and looking for the things that are known as food that are cures. We at Remedy This Naturally are there to help you have a better quality of life by understanding, first of all, that you're loved by God. And people thank me, and I have a saying that I use very often. And that saying is something that, 3 words: you are worth it. I guess 4 words, unless you run them together. You're worth it. Why is it so hard to get that cup of tea and have the boiling water over it with that thyme and peppermint, and just take a towel, Put it over your head, cover it, and just breathe in. Breathe in the anointing that comes with God's plants, God's food. You are, claim it or don't claim it, you're a child of the King. He wants you to enjoy the most you can, when you can, in this life we have. I challenge you to look at, in another book, I have Prescription for Nutritional Healing and Mother Earth book and Bashaw's book. Those are three strong books we carry in the store. And then I pick up, it was amazing. My mom, a lot of these books like this here were put out by Medical Publishing out of Georgia. A lot of these were remedies that Reader's Digest put out, and then the medical establishment bought up Reader's Digest and ones that talked about the herbal remedies, and they were the sponsors for the magazine. And my mom did not want us to lose God's remedies. So she would, every time there was a holiday or a season or whatever it may be, I would get a book from my mom, something to do with natural healing. Because she remembered them, and she remembered and placed great respect for God making available to us the remedies and the plants. And not only that, giving someone the knowledge and expertise of how to use it so it could be part of the healing of the person. You can't take it away from what God has done. I just challenge you to check out Remedy This Naturally. Check out the contract post office. Check out the little eatery we've got right there, the cafe. And see how well it can help you. But remember, right now, we're on November the 1st, and we are coming up in December and January, the season of the flu. Build your body up, get your immune system built up, bite the bullet and buy yourself what you need. I'm your host, Claiborne Holtzman. If Lee has time, he's going to play the commercial again, and you'll be able to see what we have to offer you at Remedy This Naturally. God bless you richly, and may good health be yours because you deserve it.